Okay. Oh, I cut a lot off. Yeah. All right. So we will start with 3 7-line prayer. So that's this one on the front, and we'll chant this 3 times and we'll sing this 3 times in Tibetan. Om Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngodrubne Pema Jungne Jesurak Portu Kandro Mangpogor Kedki Jesu Dak Drupki Jinji Lopchi Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngodrubne Pema Jungne Jesurak Kordu Kandro Mangpogor Kedki Jesu Dak Drupki Jinji Lopchi Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngodrubne Pema Jungne Jesurak Kordu Kandro Mangpogor Kedki Jesu Dak Drupki Jinji Lopchi Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home. Okay, so the first thing that we do when we sit down to meditate is we establish our compassionate intention. So we always start by generating compassion for all sentient beings and establishing a bodhicitta motivation. So bodhicitta is the desire to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So if we are no longer drowning, if we can get out of the waters of our suffering, then we can help others also out of the waters out of the ocean of suffering. So let's just take a moment to establish a motivation of compassion and bodhicitta. Okay, and then we will be, normally we do that before we say the 7-line prayer, but I forgot to say that before we said the prayers. So you should always do that at the very first thing, is to establish the motivation. So in this class, we'll be practicing 3 different types of meditation. And the first type of meditation that we practice is Shamatha meditation, also called calm abiding meditation. And this meditation develops space in the mind. Usually our mind is just running wild, just like a monkey running off and going in whatever direction, going and chasing this desire or running away from this thing we don't want. And And when our mind's really agitated and wound up and out of control, that monkey mind controls us instead of the other way around. So meditation is a different state of mind. Meditation is the natural state of mind when it's relaxed, stable, and open. And when our mind's calm and settled, then there's this spaciousness in the mind that allows time between whatever our experience is and our reaction to it. And having this spaciousness in the mind helps us to balance our emotions. And it's also the first step in the development of bodhicitta, that compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. Because when we're all wound up and agitated, we're usually thinking about ourselves. And then if we have a little bit of spaciousness, we have space to open our heart to others. So this is a very simple practice. All we do is we rest our attention on the breath. So I'm going to just get my timer out. Okay. So take a comfortable seat and place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. Traditionally, we hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching and place the hands so the thumbs are just below the navel, but you can also just rest your hands on your thighs. And then check in with your posture. Make sure your spine is straight. Your shoulders are back. Make sure you feel stable, however you're sitting in your seat. If you're sitting in a chair, you have your feet on the floor, or if you're sitting on the floor, just that you feel comfortable on your cushion. And your eyes are going to remain open, looking downwards. So you can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose down to the ground, and just find a point along that line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like saying the letter L. Allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. If you feel tension in your chest, like you can't breathe deeply, then just do a big out breath and let out all your air. And that helps to reset your breathing. And just settle into your natural rhythm of breathing. Put a very light attention on your breath. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it, just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. And as you meditate, thoughts will come up, and that's okay. When thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Don't even look to see what they are. Just let them pop. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it and return to your breath. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. as our warm-up round. We're going to keep doing that meditation for a little bit longer. If it's really difficult for you to dismiss your thoughts, you can imagine using like kitchen tongs to pick up the thought and drop it, or you can visualize cutting the thoughts with scissors and throwing them away. If it's helpful for you to have a visualization like that, you can do that when your thoughts come up. And then just bring your attention back to your breath. So just sometimes our thoughts are really sticky and we need a little extra tool to help dismiss them. But then just come back again and again to your breath. Okay, so we're going to do that for a little bit longer. Okay. So your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. I don't know how to make this stop. All right, so that is the practice of shamatha. And if during that practice, if you find yourself, some days you find yourself really distracted and like really carried away by your thoughts, and you're like, where is the breath? Am I breathing? You know, and it's really difficult to stick with it. And some days it's a lot easier to focus on your breath and your thoughts don't carry you away so much. But if you're having a distracted day, don't worry, because there's all of these different parts of the practice that we need to practice. So there's the part of the practice that is like just recognizing the thought, recognizing that you're distracted. That's one part of the, so some days we get to really practice that because we've got lots of thoughts. So we get to really get a lot of practice in on recognizing the thoughts and putting our attention back on the breath. I'm just putting it back, putting it back, putting it back. So that's okay, because that's one of the muscles that we need to work in the meditation, is the practice of putting it back on the breath. Then there's the practice, then there's like the part of the, when you end the meditation, like dropping the meditation, just let it go. When the bell rings, done. And when you start, fully focused, you're on the meditation, you know, and then when you're done, you're done. So there's these different parts. They're all different muscles that we have to practice. So sometimes you can practice doing a short little session and you really practice kind of starting and stopping. Sometimes you practice a long meditation session and you practice staying with the breath and really practice on the stability and endurance, kind of your ability to sit there on the cushion for longer. So if you have 2 minutes to meditate, you know, practice starting and stopping. If you have, you know, just practice for 2 minutes. If you have a long time to meditate, you can sit down and really try to practice sticking with it for a long period of time. So, yeah, every day will be different when you meditate. It's all just practice. So in the next meditation practice that we'll do is Tonglen, or the practice of sending and receiving. And this practice helps to diminish our self-cherishing, and it helps us to develop compassion. So a lot of times when we want to help others, what stops us is that we are more concerned with our own comfort than with securing the happiness of others. You know, we might want to help others, but we're like, oh, but what's going to happen to me? You know, I don't know. I don't want to wake up early that day and do that, or I don't want to drive that far, or oh, that sounds like a lot. Sounds like a busy day. I don't know if I want to do that, you know, whatever. Like, we have reasons why we don't want to extend ourselves and sacrifice our own comfort to help others. So this practice diminishes that self-cherishing, and it opens our hearts to others, and it helps us to hold others above ourselves, so that we can better help them. So in this practice, we imagine taking the sufferings of others into ourselves and sending them our happiness. So in our meditation posture, we're going to begin by thinking of one or two beings for whom you easily feel compassion. Let's see. Hello. You can come in. Or not. Oh, okay. So we're going to start by thinking of one or two people for whom we easily feel compassion. So this could be your kids, it could be a partner or a good friend or your parents. It could be, hello, welcome. We're having a meditation class. You're welcome to join. You're also welcome to just look around the room or meditate on your own.
Okay. I just need to find comfortable place.
You could sit right here, right here in between. Yeah.
Okay, go low.
Great. You came just in time. We're about to start a meditation called Tonglen. which is a practice that develops our compassion and reduces our self cherishing. And in this practice, we take on the sufferings of others and we send them our happiness. So, so begin by thinking of what are two beings for whom you easily feel compassion. It could be your parents or your children or a pet, a friend, anyone from whom you easily feel compassion. Think of this person, these one or two people, and contemplate their misery. Think of how they suffer. Put yourself in their shoes and imagine what their experience must be like, and give rise to compassion. You can think about the suffering they're currently experiencing. You can think about the causes they are creating if you feel like they are creating causes for future suffering. But just think about, put yourself in their shoes. Think of what their experience must be like and give rise to compassion. And cultivate in your heart the fervent wish to relieve their suffering and secure their happiness. Hello, welcome. Hello. So we are right now doing the practice of Tonglen. We're doing a practice called Tonglen, which is or sending and receiving, which is a practice that develops compassion and reduces self-cherishing. So right now we're taking a moment to think of someone who you feel it's easy to feel compassion for, like a parent or a child or a pet or someone you really love, and just think of how they suffer and put yourself in their shoes and give rise to compassion for them. And then cultivating the wish to relieve that suffering and secure their happiness. And then bring your attention to your breath. We're going to follow the natural rhythm of our breath. As you breathe in, visualize it as you inhale through your nose. You take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke, and they become completely free of misery. And as you breathe out, visualize that you are sending and they are receiving all of your positive and loving qualities, all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. You might think as you breathe in, may you be free of suffering. And as you breathe out, may you be happy. May you be free of suffering. May you be happy. So we'll do this for a few minutes. Okay, and now we're going to repeat this, but this time we're going to visualize one or two people for whom you feel intense anger or aversion, someone you really don't like. This could be someone you know or someone on the news, but think of someone who just really makes you angry and put yourself in their shoes and consider their experience. Consider the ways that they suffer, the ways that they sow seed for future suffering for themselves, and generate compassion for them. And now do the visualization of, as you breathe in, inhale all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke, and they become completely free of misery. And as you exhale, visualize that you are sending and they are receiving all of your positive and loving qualities and all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. And now expand your visualization to include all of those for whom you have similar feelings of aversion. Breathe in their suffering, and as you breathe out, send them your happiness. Okay. And as you practice this on your own, you can gradually If you have more time, you can gradually expand the scope of your visualization to include larger and larger groups of people until your love and compassion encompasses, embraces all beings throughout existence. So now lastly, we're going to end with a meditation called the Light Expansion Prayer by Jetsunma Akanlamo. So this is a guided meditation. Let us become still. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Again. Let us center deep within. Center deep within. Deep within to the presence of the Absolute. And there is radiance. The presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the physical body. And all of the physical body is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill our beings on all dimensions. And all that we are is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill everyone here. And everyone here on all dimensions is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this building. And all of this building is filled with the light of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this nation. And the government of this nation is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. And the people of this nation are one life. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace planet Earth. All nations and all governments are filled with the presence of the Absolute, and there is peace. And the 8 billion are one life, radiant. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill this galaxy. All planets, all stars, and all life forms are within the embrace of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the universe. All dimensions and all kingdoms are filled with the presence of the Absolute. And in all the universe, there is only one life. Now, as we return our consciousness back to physical form, we continue to embrace all that is and to know union, that we are one. So then at the end of our class, we say the dedication prayers, which are on the back here. Do you have copies? Are there extra copies? So at the end of our practice, whatever merit that we've generated, we give it all away to all beings. So we'll say these together. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and bodhisattvas all together, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have. Similarly, I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Starting in just a moment, we'll have Ryo Sangchud, which is the mountain smoke offering practice. You're welcome to stay for that. It's about a 20-minute practice, and it's great for it. Purifies the natural environment and clears obstacles, and it's a really beautiful practice. And then tomorrow we have another meditation class at 11:30 that is runs from like 11:30 to about 1, and it's with Kempo Karze, who's our resident scholar, and he teaches he gives meditation instruction, and we do a meditation together, and then he also does like a Q&A, and there's a discussion. So he does more of like a talk, more of a talk about the philosophy of Buddhism. So that's a really wonderful class as well. So yeah, thank you all for being here. And yeah, and also if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, please do. There is where'd our thing go? There's normally a thing here that people can scan, but I think we have cards up here, some welcome cards, and they have a link where you can sign up for our newsletter, or you can ask me. I'm happy to help you. You do it. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you can find out about our upcoming events.